Namaste, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Phoenix here. I hope you all are doing amazing. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. I hope you all are loving on yourselves. Okay, today I have Raven with me. I also have Spirit had me put together. This is something that has been coming into my awareness as far as the Beatitudes and the 12 universal laws, how they work in tandem with each other. Okay, and so let me see. It's Matthew. And as I said before, you use these biblical religious texts. You use them as tools, okay, for alignment, for your truth, for your soul's truth, okay? And understand that as soon as you make the decision to start using as soon as you make the decision to start using these scriptures, any of these biblical texts, religious texts, any of them, the Nag Hammadi's Epistis Sophia, the Kabbalion, the Emerald Tablets, okay? As soon as you make the decision, the conscious decision to change, your life is seemingly going to change. Your life will start shifting. And so that may appear as losing people out of your life, losing jobs out of your life, losing circumstances, things that are not in alignment with this energy, okay, will start going out of your life, okay? Especially when you apply them internally, okay? And so the Beatitudes could be found in Matthew chapter 5 through chapter 5 through 11. So there are 11 of them here, okay? Raven, move. There are 11 of them here, and there are 12 universal laws. And so I'm going to help you apply them internally, okay? When you operate from a space of these attitudes internally, okay, you operating them from the space of your soul's authority, right? You're operating them from a space of Yahusha's, right, method, right? And this is the internal soul frequency of Yahusha. You are being in that particular space, right? And so whatever other religious, right, 333 on my timer, whatever other religious text have, like it can be I don't know if the Torah has anything similar to this. I'm not sure the Kabbalion, I'm sure it does, but I think these laws come from the Kabbalion, these 12 universal laws, right? It comes from that. But the 12 universal laws are automatically there, okay? That's just the laws of the universe. Those are just natural laws of the universe, okay? Sorry. And when you operate these laws, right? When you allow these laws to be these laws, right? Right? They're there. There's nothing you can do with these laws, right? But when you are coming from them, your truest, purest space, your purest space, that is your soul's vibrational frequency, right? That is the you before the program. That is how you apply these Beatitudes, right? And so when you apply these Beatitudes internally, right, it automatically puts you in alignment with the vibrational frequency of the 12 universal laws, okay? So that you are taken care of. So this is like how to allow the universe to take care of you, right? And so you have to be in that childlike space. I think I did a video of that before this one. Oh, I got to excuse me. My grades are like establishing themselves and I'm not going to remove them. I just be noticing them when I'm in the mirror, looking at them like, whoa. And so it's just what it is. I'm almost 50, so they're okay. And I just was looking like, dang. And so when you come from this state, okay, this pure state of your natural soul's vibrational frequency, right? That is how you allow your natural self to be in alignment with the universe, right? Because remember, the universal laws are principles, right? They're just principles how the universe rotates. Those will never be destroyed, right? But your job is to get yourself in alignment. And if you don't know what that is, you use the Beatitudes to come from that space of alignment. This isn't privy to just this biblical verse, right? This biblical text. There are plenty other religious texts that has laws, right? But you're going to have to make sure that they are the laws of the coming, the laws of the newness, right? And so Christ, Yahusha, is the newness, right? And so the way that he spoke about this, remember he spoke about being childlike, being that of a child, right? And this is how children are naturally, some children, right? Ideally, right? Especially for babies, right? Because that is what you are. Essentially, you are a baby. So always keep that in mind. You are a baby to the universe, right? The universe is your father. Mother Earth is your mother, right? And so this is putting you in alignment so that you are automatically taken care of, right? So babies, they're automatically taken care of unless they have some sort of born into some sort of karmic dynamic to where that is not happening for them, right? And so we're talking about like once after you've done the clearing from yourself, right? Even if you're still doing the clearing, this works, okay? This helps put you in alignment, okay? So a lot of people, like I said before, we try to manifest. We're not manifesting. We are putting ourselves in a state of allowance, okay? And so we have the first beatitude, and you will apply this internally, okay? All of these laws, even the 12 universal laws, they are applied internally also, right? As above, so below, right? So these laws are naturally there internally, okay? And so you want to be in a state of allowance so that these laws are doing what they're supposed to do internally. And you will see soon, they will, I don't know how to say soon. It depends on you, okay? And it depends on your faith in just allowing things to unfold naturally the way they're supposed to be, okay? It's not about like clearing doubt. Like when you have a sense of doubt, you believe something is not going to work out for you, right? So it just comes a matter of you shifting your awareness to believing that something terrible is going to go wrong versus believing something good can happen for you, right? It comes with that, just shifting your awareness. And you do that by figuring out, where did you first experience doubt? Where was doubt first indoctrinated into your program, okay? And so we have this first law, this first beatitude, right? This is, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And that is internally, right? Your soul's internally, right? Humility, openness, empty vessel, right? So humility, you showing yourself a sense of humbleness. This is like when you have those inner voices inside of you, or those inner feelings inside of you saying things that is bringing you a sense of pride, that is bringing you a sense of closeness, right? That is keeping your vessel full of lies, deceit, nonsense, right? It is you clearing out that, right? Clearing out that inner talk, clearing out those inner feelings that you feel when you feel pride, when you feel closed offness, when you feel like full of just rage and anger and shame and hurt, right? That is you clearing out that space, right? And so when you clear out that space, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You are emptying your space from those particular spirits that is keeping you bound to a program that is not yours, okay? I hope you all keep an open mind about this. I hope that you all can understand where this information is leading you, okay, and how it can potentially help you, okay? Let me do my little prayer, okay? Divine unity, I'm going to go with this one, okay? I speak from the spirit within me, which is one with the Most High. My words are not from ego, but from the source of all creation. No watcher, no accuser, no muzzler energy has authority over my voice, heart, or my truth. I am rooted in love, covered in light, and sealed in the presence of the God within. When I speak, it is for awakening, not for offense, and my words will land only where they are meant to land. I am safe, I am guided, and I am whole. So it is. Ashe. Okay, and so, thank you. And then we have Beatitude number 2, and it says, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. This is grief, right? Depth of healing, compassion, both from sorrow. Okay, this is something that I wrote out. I'm reading from I email myself these PDFs, okay? This is, yeah, something that I email myself so that I can, yeah, I'll show y'all. It's my PDF. I email myself this stuff, okay? I got YouTube in the background because I be listening to meditation music. And so I email myself this stuff. I, write it down and email it, okay? So this is where I be reading from. That's why I always ask if you need a PDF, please let me know, okay? And it says, I'm going to read part 2 again. Number 2, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted, right? I'm going to use myself as an example. When my 17-year-old son was murdered, I went into grief overtaken me. Man, had I not sought understanding, had I not asked to understand what was happening, I asked for awareness to bear what I was experiencing, and I started having out-of-body experiences showing me that death was not the end. I was outside of my body experiencing myself, my true self, and watching myself on the bed cry, the depth of feelings. I was able to understand feelings, okay, from a different perspective. Feelings that, man, when you go through grief can often cover your, cloud your heart, put so much judgment on your heart, hatred on your heart. And so if grief is there, you're not allowing the natural flow of your heart chakra to experience life anew, okay? Experience life fully, wholeheartedly. Thank you, Spirit. And it said, you shall be comforted, okay? Grief, the depth of feeling. You have to feel into grief. You have to understand grief, know what grief wants, so that grief can say what it needs to say to you, express what it needs to be expressed from you and released from you, okay? And compassion from both, born from sorrow. You experience compassion for the self, okay? This is all about you internally. It isn't about people outside of you, okay? This is about you becoming one with the self. 1414 on timer. This is about you becoming one with your program, understanding your program, because your program believes itself to be unworthy. It believes itself to be a separate entity. It believes itself to be traumatized. It believes those things, and it can start it will operate from the state of me. That is that energy of that the Bayoff demigod that's in the Pistis Sophia, 1444, my timer. If you all read the Pistis Sophia, you will read the Nag Hammadis. It talks about that Bio de Bayoff energy that Pistis Sophia, she birthed because she didn't want to wait. I don't know how that story, I do know how it goes, but I don't want to get into that right now. You have to read that and gain your own understanding, okay, of that energy of the book, what it's trying to tell you, okay. And it says born from sorrow, and the Most High Spirit, they see you in that state of helplessness, hopelessness, like a baby crying out for help, and they come to help you. They come to help the self understand things, right? And so when you can give that compassion, love, and understanding to the self, to the version of you that believes itself to be separate from the Most High, right? That's how you comfort yourself. You listen to your grief, you understand your grief, you let it tell you a thing, its story, okay? That's you. Like when a child comes to you and they have problems, they have issues, and that's you listening to it. Listen, you know, being that ear, okay? Being that sense of understanding, right? That is what that means, okay? And it said, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, okay? Gentle strength, non-forced patience, okay? Gentle strength, okay? The meek. This coming from a space for you saying that I know that what is happening for its highest purpose. I don't know the purpose right now, but I'm sure it will be revealed to me as time go on, and you just allowing it to be, you taking yourself out of it, trying to force something to happen. Okay, let me give myself for an example. When I first moved here, I paid for a carport, and it's $35 a month. Now, I don't have the car anymore, and I contact my leasing office, and they asked me, I told them that, hey, I don't have the car, so you can take the payment off my monthly rent. This was back in June. And so she said, well, no, because you signed a carport lease for a month. And I said, well, I mean for a full year. And I said, well, that was never, I never understood, I didn't know that. And she said, well, yeah, it's in your lease. You should have read your lease. And I was like, wow, like, and so I didn't say anything about it, not even caring about it. I let it go, right? Allow the Most High to handle it. Why this morning I wake up, I get an email from them and a text message saying, hey, it shows on our end that you did not sign your carport lease. I said, okay, I haven't had that car for some time now. Why do you want me to sign it now? And she said, well, you need to sign it because we got new tow trucking companies here and they can possibly tow the car. And I said, well, I haven't had the car, and why do I need to sign a lease for something I no longer have, right? And so she never ever replied back to me. So you see how the Most High will reveal things. It revealed that I never signed the carport lease. I never knew anything about it. And so I've been paying an extra $35 since June. This is now August, and my lease is up in November. And so it's just like the Most High is taking care of it on his own. Do they owe me some money? Probably so. I don't know, but I'm going to allow the Most High to handle it. I'm not going to even deal with it because I understand that I'm taken care of, and I understand that the Most High will rectify things on my behalf. Okay, that applies to inspire action, no, compensation, right? Law of compensation. The universe is balanced what is given and receiving. You see what I'm saying? That applies to that. And you see how it's working out in my favor? I don't need to do anything. I just allow the Most High to do it, right? That's how that works. This is real time shit right here. You know, just non-patience. Just allow things to work out the way they work out, and release the judgment, release attachments to it, right? That's the thing, right? And then we have number 4, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Desire for truth and justice. And that is the thing. Every time, like, I know for a fact that what I am experiencing, what I have been experiencing, my fated path, it is not of me. It is not of my divine nature. I know my divine nature. Let me tell you how I know my divine nature. Because I read the four gospels. I read other religious texts besides the four gospels. I read the Kabbalion. I know that I am a natural state of energy. I know that I am one with the Creator. I know that I am geometry. I know that I am not these constructs in these ways that was placed upon us. I know that I am not that. And so, yes, I read further. I just allow justice. I pray for justice. I pray for release. I pray for me to go back to my natural state of being. I pray that, you know, my children go back to their natural state of being because of my upbringing and how I upbrung them. You see what I'm saying? It's just like the vampire energy. When you kill the main vampire, the other vampires are no longer vampires. You see what I'm saying? It's that type of energy. It's the energy of, I never knew myself outside of my program. All of the lives that I have lived, I never knew. I never lived my life knowingly, right? As a divine child. I've always been someone else. You've always been someone else. You've always lived your life from someone else's perspective, for someone else's judgment, for someone else's way, from societal constructs, from religious and racial constructs that had you placed inside of a box. You never lived your life that you can remember here right now, visibly right now to you, of your own accord. And that bothers me, that I've never experienced life, this living life, empowered with my divinity. And so that is the divine justice, right? Desire, the truth and justice that is rightfully ours. That is your divine inheritance, for you to go back that of a child, okay? For you to be creative, experience creation as creation, right? That is the energy, right? And that is, blessed are those who hunger for thirst for righteousness. That is that energy resides inside of you. 2 on my timer, okay? And it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Clarity, sincerity, innocence, inner vision. That is that energy of you seeing through, and people may call it spiritual psychosis. I don't call it spiritual psychosis. I call people who living their lives as someone else's projection, someone else's fears, someone else's worries and complaints and sorrows and program. That is spiritual psychosis, because you are without knowing who and what you are. You don't even know your divinity. That is psychosis to me, okay? And then you being able to see God in everything. This connection right here that we have is the Most High God, right? You waking up in the morning, acknowledging the reverence of your life is God, right? You seeing other people and connecting with them is acknowledging that the existence of God, right? You seeing clouds form shapes into things of the divine, right? You being able to hear your inner truth, your authority, your inner voice, your intuition, you listening to it, right? That is the aspects of seeing God in everything. That is you knowing that everything that happened in your life, including the things that you prefer not to happen, it's still divine, divinely guided, okay? Because it is allowed to be there, okay? The polarity exists, right? So it is the beauty of knowing that the yin and yang, both this and that exist. Excuse me, Raven. Knowing that it both exists. You exist and it exists, right? You cannot have one without the other, right? That is that energy, right? Okay. I just said that was number 6, okay. Inner vision, clarity, innocence, okay. And you seeing the innocent in it all. You not having an opinion about it. You just allowing it to be, right? Like children, they don't really have an opinion. They just so quiet, you know. my grandson gave me this good example. I was on the phone with him, and I think he wanted some treats or something, some snacks or something, and he asked his other grandmother, and so she yelled at him a little bit. I guess she must have been sleeping, and so she works the night shift, and so she yelled at him a little bit, and then he just closed the door and he laughed. But I felt a kind of way. I was just like, dang, why she yelled at you? Why she just didn't, say not right now? And so he just like, oh, it's okay, like he didn't care. But I saw that I took it personal, right? Not personal in the sense that I was mad. I just took it personal, like, dang, like, why you yell at the kid, right? He just asked you a question, but I knew she was asleep. And so I understood that it was only my judgment of it that had a problem with it. My grandson didn't have a problem with it. It just was the way that I took it, as someone is yelling at children. I don't like for people to be mean to kids. That bothers me when people are mean to children. That's a soft spot for me. I get an instant sense of cringe. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, and then we're going to go back to number 5 because I didn't say it. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy, compassion, forgiveness, kindness, right? And so you being kind to yourself, you showing compassion to yourself. And that's what I did when I realized my grandson was a perfect example. I was like, oh man. But the part of me that took it personal, I had to comfort her. I had to say, it's okay, like, I understood where she came from, where her breeding come from. She was bred to be upset at that because that's how she was treated as a child. Okay, when she asked for something, she was yelled at. Okay, I understood that in this life and in past lives. I was an orphan in a past life, so I went without a lot of things, okay? And so it carried on this life with me asking for things as a child I didn't get, or I got yelled at about it. And it's okay, it's no judgment, right? It's understanding that is some things that I had to clear up this lifetime, right? And so this is what this is about, right? And I had to be compassionate and kind to my inner self, that version of me that didn't understand, okay? I hope I'm making this it's clear. I'm not talking about people. I am talking about energies, okay? Please understand this. We're not talking about anyone, okay? We're talking about energies, and we're talking about what resides inside of you and how to get it on one accord with the comfort of knowing that you're going to be taken care of by the divine mother and divine father, right? While you are being your divine child self, okay? And so we have number 7, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Unity, reconciliation, harmony, right? And that is you being at peace within yourself, right? That is you when you get this inner turmoil of arguing, right, within you. It could be with you, the inner versions of you that don't understand her outside reality. It can be with you feeling like someone has wronged you, or you wronged someone, and you internal battling with that, right? That is you coming to a term of peace within. That is you being the mediator, the moderator, and saying, whoa, okay, let's understand this energy. Let's see where it's coming from, right? King of the hill. That's what I'm watching. That's you being the king of the hill. You're sitting on the throne, understanding the truth of both situations, like hearing it out, right? Within, we're talking about internal, because everything manifests internally everything is internal before it manifests physically, right? And then we're going to talk about number 8. Blessed are those persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Steadfastness under trial. I think I missed some because I was kind of rushing because I was getting tired. Okay, so number 10. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. Okay, and then number 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You got the pure heart. Okay. 8, 9, 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I don't know how to mix this up. going to show you. I was kind of rushing. Blessed are those, okay, persecuted for righteous sakes, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Oh, it's just numbered differently in here. I got it right on here. It's numbered differently because I'm like 1, 2, 3, but the Beatitudes starts at 3. Okay, he went up to the mountain, and when he was seated, his disciples came to him. Then he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, and it starts at number 3. Okay, so it is 8. I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't I see this? Okay, 30:03 on my timer, so I am right. Okay, and it says, blessed are those persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Steadfastness under trial. And that is you, okay, putting yourself through a trial, okay? That is you judging yourself, right? That is you, that part of you that always be like, you know, I did something wrong. You know, I'm not doing this right according to man-made laws, okay? According to man-made laws, okay? You're trying to be according to the outside world, okay? Let me read this to you. Sonship through spirit. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live according to the flesh, right? For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, right? The deeds of the body, you will live. These are the deeds that was given unto you. The ownership, the deeds of the things that people placed upon you. That is a deed. You was given a deed, your birth certificate that says who and what you are. That you was, oh my God, you are not that, okay? You are to ask for justice, for righteousness, for help, okay? That is not who you are, okay? Ooh, this hits me hard because the things that, man, 31, okay? And you put those deeds to rest. Those deeds are null and void once you understand who and what you are, okay? And it says, you will live, for as many as are led by the Spirit of God, these are the sons of God, okay? For you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you received the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry out, Abba, okay? Abba, this is the universal laws, right? Father, the Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God, okay? Period. And if children, then heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. That is that energy that resides inside of you. That is the consciousness, Christ's consciousness, right? Okay, if indeed we suffer with him, then we may also be glorified together. We suffered, okay, because of our human self. We suffer because of the deeds that was given unto us, the persecution that was given unto us, just like Yahusha suffered, right? That is because of the physical people egos, right? I'm sorry, Spirit is speaking and I'm trying to get it all out. What Spirit is saying, I don't know, when I touch this type of material, I don't know what happens to me, but energy flows through me when I touch this type of material. All type of religious material, I see the deeper meaning of it, and it just flows through me. Like, whew, I get like, I don't know how to say this, whatever energy this is that flows through me when I read, lay hands upon the Kabbalion, the non-Kabbali's, the Pistis Sophia, this information, emerald tablets, like, I don't know how to say that, but something else takes upon me, and just pure truth just kind of like flows through me. It's just like chills all over my body, and so it's just so crazy. But then we have from suffering to glory, okay? God's everlasting love. What shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us, right? Because you've changed it within, okay? And so you're on universal time. You're on the Mother Earth, Father, universe's time. And so there is nothing, no one can come against you and say anything against you, right? He who did not spare his own son, but delivered him up for all of us, How shall he not deliver? How shall he not with him also freely give us all the things, right? Who shall bring a change against God's elect? If it's okay, it is God who justifies. Who is he who condemns? It is Christ who died. Okay, that energy, Yahushua who died. And furthermore, Christ was risen in return, right? Who is even at the right hand of God, who also makes intercessions for us. That is that intercession, that Christ consciousness, you asking the questions and you're getting information from consciousness, right? Christ consciousness, truth, right? Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulations? No. Or distress? No. Or persecution? No. Or famine? No. Or nakedness, your true natural state of being, okay? Or peril or sword. And it is written, for your sake we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter, meaning all day long you are killed by this physical world. You are pretty much your answers handed to you by your program, right? It's so funny. And it says, we have number 11. Blessed are you when they ravel and persecute you, right? And say all things of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. People will say, oh, Jesus, Yahushua didn't do this, God didn't do this, but you understand the inner meaning. They call you witches, they call you demonic, all this other stuff, but you know your truth, right? And it said, rejoice and be exceedingly glad. How great is your reward in heaven, your heaven on earth. Not when you leave this realm, but you will have it here on earth, okay? That means you're no longer in the space of all the other people who are talking all these negative things about you, because you have elevated yourself from that. You no longer live in that program. You no longer live in that paradigm. You are no longer bound in those sectors that has that sentinel energy that is keeping you bound to a particular old vibrational frequency, right? And it says, so they it said, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you, okay? You see Ascended Master Yeshua, you see all of the other prophets, like you see how the world rejected them, right? Because they didn't want you to know the truth of who and what you are. I don't know if it was the church, the Pharisee energy, I don't know. But they wanted to maintain a sense of control. Okay, that is the reason Ascended Master Yeshua rejected the ego in the desert. Okay, he said, man shall not live off bread. Man shall not live off bread alone. Okay, that is you feeding your ego flesh, feeding yourself your fated path. Okay, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. That is you saying that, oh, I can do miracles in front of everybody. That is you staying meek, staying humble, not being from a proud space. That is you. He said, there should be no one pointed above you. Okay, because thou shalt worship thy God that is within you. Okay, you will know your God that is within you, because that is the only thing that exists. You are here to form a world within a world. Some of us were in that program, the GATE program or the Comets program. I was in a Comets program in high school. We were a school within a school. You are here to make a world within a world. You are here to build your own world, and those who resonate with you will come and join your world, right? You are here to do something different, to break free of the mold, right? Woo. Okay, and then we have these 12 universal laws. So these are natural laws, right? And so when you are in vibrational frequency, ooh, my hands is tingling. When you are in natural vibrational frequency with these, right, these souls laws, the universal laws automatically line up for you, okay? Law of divine oneness. Everything is connected. Your inner world affects the whole world, right? Divine oneness, that is you in a state of humility, openness, right? Gentle, non-forced. You're not forcing anything, because you understand that everything is one, and everything will be handled according to divine law, right? The law of vibration. Everything vibrates and has a frequency. Emotion, thoughts carry energy, right? That is you and your emotions, right? Understanding your emotions, being in a state of forgiveness, love, holds those vibrational laws. You understanding that both polarities exist. So if something was to come into your experience, you acknowledge it, okay, it is there, but you don't have to necessarily take it on. That can goes for spiritual warfare. Remember, I did a video about that, like how spiritual warfare is only there to keep you bound to a structure that you no longer resonate with, and it will come upon you to irritate you, right? Whatever vibrational energy that you have inside of you that is still tethered a little bit to the energy, right? And you break free from it. You use it to see what chord it is striking, that chord, playing a chord off beat for a reason, so that you can tune it, right? Or completely replace the damn chord like a damn guitar, right? Period. I don't know what this is flowing to me, okay? Law of correspondence, as within, so without. Outer realities reflects the inner reality, right? It's the same, right? As above, so below type energy, right? Okay. Law of attraction. Like attracts like. Your frequency draws matching frequencies. This is where we talks about the law of allowance, right? Allowing the Most High to do for you. Allowing Mother Nature to take care of you, to supply you, okay? And that's what we talked about, that it's not about attracting anything to you. It can be, right? But you don't think about it in the space of the ego space. You think about it in the space of, I'm already in this vibrational state, and whatever comes into my reality is for me. You need to be able to see the goodness in it. And I understand, you know, how that is, because we all are faced with things of this reality that can seemingly hold us back, but it's about us standing in our authenticity and our divine self, and seeing through the illusion of it, right? Breaking free from it, right? And allowing the goodness to flow in, because you're not attached to the polarity of it. It is supposed to be there. It is there, okay? And then we have the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Higher vibrations transform lower ones, period, okay? And that's what I was just talking about. So it rolls right on in, okay? That yin and yang, you know, the yang, the dark side of it, that's the more masculine side. No, I don't know how that goes, Spirit. Don't do that to me. But the white light in the big dark space, that is the light. You have enough light to see through the darkness. And then when you have the whiteness, there is that little bit of darkness in there, right? But you bright, you can see the darkness in it, right? So that's the energy what I'm talking about, right? The law of cause and effect. Every action has a consequence. What you reap, what you sow, you reap, right? And so that's why you have these Beatitude laws, okay? You apply them internally, okay? And these cosmic laws, these are natural, just laws, okay, that is here. It governs universal properties. It governs inside and outside. This is how you see your manifestations or your wants outside of you, right? This is how you see dreams come true. This is how you see miracles happen, right? That's beautiful, Spirit. Thank you for that. The law of compensation. Universe balances what is given and received, right? And it's the law of relativity. Everything is relative. Challenges reveal strength. That is the beauty of a challenge. I don't know. Dang. That's the... I don't know. I don't even think of it as challenges anymore. I think of it as an assignment. And so when you come from that space of an assignment, thinking of your... whatever you experiencing, it's an assignment. It's an assignment from the Most High, like the Blues Brother. We're on a mission from God. It's an assignment. That's how I look like. When you look at your life, whatever is happening in your life, it's an assignment. Okay, understand that Most High gave you an assignment. Your ancestors gave you an assignment. Don't take it personal. Okay, and trust me, I know how hard that is. But just keep going within, okay? Things will get better, I promise you. Everything has an opposite. Opposites define each other. That is very true. The law of polarity. And that is what I'm talking about, like the yin and yang symbol, right? Thank you, Spirit. You gave me that for a reason, so so I can explain. Everything has an opposite, defines each other. Thank you. Life moves in cycles. Patterns and seasons flow naturally Mother Nature, that is a prime example. When it's wintertime, it's wintertime. You can also live your life like that, right? When the seeds start, man, spirit is guiding me, okay? So when the squirrels, right? When you see the trees starting to yield to, fall, the leaves fall and things like that, and nuts start to fall, you gather that and store it for the winter, that you could be gathering up groceries, things like that, right? Saving, right? And then planting seeds for the summer, right? From the fruits and stuff like that. You start planting them, for the springtime, right? And you yielding the fruit of it in the summertime. It's very funny, okay? And it's the number 12, the 11, law of rhythm. Life moves in cycles. We said that naturally. Okay, 12. Number 12, masculine and feminine principle exists in all things. Balance creates creation. That's a beautiful. Spirit told me that balance creates creation. Both. We yin and yang. We exist, like seeing the both in both, like being able to move, divine alignment, being able to move when you're supposed to move, to do the things when you get the nudge, the intuition to do it. That is your divine masculine, right? You being in a receiving mode, you going in hermit mode, that's the Empress energy. You allowing, right? You buying the stock, right? Stock. You sitting back and watching the stock grow, right? According to your alignment, according to the download that you get, according to your intuitions, right? You investing in something, right? And so I got like how it works together. The Beatitudes are inner postures of the soul, keys that align you with spirit. The universal law are the cosmic mechanics that automatically respond to those postures. You do not need to force them into one. You do not need to force them unto one-to-one. Like, you don't need to, okay, I gotta do this and then I gotta do this. No, you don't do that, okay? You just, when you embody a beatitude, the laws naturally harmonize to mirror and manifest that posture in your daily outer reality. And so I hope this made sense for you all. If you need this PDF, reach out to me. My email is in the description box. Please like, subscribe, share the video, okay? Please do that. We are here building something. We are trying to help someone. If you know someone that needs some help, please share the video, share my email. I am offering readings for $25. I'm going to put that on there. I have them on there for $55, okay? But I may keep them as $55. But if you email me and let me know your circumstance, okay, the divine will let me know your circumstance also, okay? But I am offering readings, what you need to clear, things like that, what information that you are missing, how to help you see your natural abilities, okay, things like that. Help you to understand your assignment. Understand your assignments change all the time, okay? And so I am available for those things. Please reach out to me, email me, phoenix144cardinal@gmail.com, okay? I am here to help you. I do offer a service, okay? So namaste. I hope this made sense, okay? And I hope this helps you all to stay in a sense of alignment, to give you all some type of structure, okay? I love you. Bye.